Hi there, I'm Becky Miller. I am a certified yoga therapist and I'm coming to you with another quick tip. Um, I was recently and I say recently, it was actually about a month ago, and I was at the annual conference for the Association of Yoga Therapists, the International Association of Yoga Therapists. And in one of the talks, I found it fascinating, some tidbits that were coming out of it, and I'm going to share one of those with you today. But the man who was talking had been studying yoga since he was a young kid, as in like 5 or 6. And he had been practicing yoga with some of the masters in India. He is Indian, and so he was raised among some of these yoga masters. And so he's learned from them all the tips and tricks out there, right? At the same time, he's also a medical doctor. So he is marrying the science of yoga with Western medicine and using his knowledge to help people, which I think is fabulous. There's so much to learn from each other, right? One of the things he was talking about is that normal breathing is 12 to 14 breaths a minute. So think about that. Some of us have, like, my watch tells me how many times I'm breathing a minute. I know that a lot of these watches, like Apple Watches and things like that, they can do that nowadays and tell you how many breaths per minute you are taking. And I'm looking at this right now. I'm right at 13. So hey, I've got normal breathing going on. The reason why I bring this up, though, is because in my yoga practice, and with the people that I work with, a lot of people are coming in with a ton of anxiety. And when you have all this anxiety, you start to breathe faster. You start to breathe shallowly, so you're not going all the way into your lungs, and you start to breathe really fast so that your breath pattern is way faster than 12 to 14 breaths a minute. And the flip side can happen too. The longer that you study yoga, the more that you try to slow your breath down, right? Which is great if you're in an anxious state. But if you're just trying to breathe slow, that's great for a short time period, but your body isn't meant to do that all of the time. So if you're trying to breathe slower than 12 to 14 breaths a minute, then you're actually stressing your body maybe as much as overbreathing, right? Breathing more than that amount is overbreathing, and your body is not getting the amount of oxygen and releasing the carbon dioxide in the manner that it needs. So breathing too fast, breathing too slow is not optimal for your body. So if you have one of those watches like I have that tells you how many breaths per minute you're averaging, check it out. See how many you are doing right now. And if you find that you are averaging higher than 12 to 14 breaths per minute, maybe it's time to take a few slow, deep breaths and see if you can't change the pace of your breath. See if you can't bring awareness back to the breath. Probably something is happening in your life at the moment that is making you anxious, so you are breathing faster. And if by chance it does say you're breathing less than 12, was it because you are focusing on breath, or is just that a normal pattern? It's normal as a range. It's not something that we're all going to be exactly the same on, and I would never tell you to be exactly the same, but I do know that so many people are breathing way faster than 12 to 14 breaths a minute. So slowing that breath down a little bit can be really helpful to calm your anxiety and calm the body, and just to be aware that you don't need to breathe 2 to 3 breaths a minute. That may seem fun in practice, but it's not what your body needs anyway, not normally. So 12 to 14 breaths a minute, that's normal breathing. If you have a watch, check it and see what you're doing. Awareness of things like that I think are kind of fun, and I'm not going to hold you to that 12 to 14 breaths, but it is fun to have that information. So that is all for now. I will bring you another quick tip next week, or in a couple weeks. I will see you soon. Bye for now.